So is it hot enough for you? Down in New Zealand, where my daughter lives, they have a way of speaking about anything that's extreme or excessive. So like if you went to a restaurant and it was really good, they'd say it was sweet as or good as. You have to say it very carefully, of course, but it's sweet as or good as. So they would say right now, it is hot as. It is hot. You don't even have to finish the sentence. It's like hot as much as you can think. And it is that. It reminds me of a story I heard once about these 3 ministers who very sadly all made their transition on the same day. And surprisingly to all of them, they ended up in hell. So the Baptist minister was just going on and on. This is so blasted hot, as he wiped the sweat off his brow and said, man, I just should have saved a couple more souls for Jesus and maybe I wouldn't be here, And then the Episcopalian priest, well, he too was going on and on. It is so hot. It was never this hot back in Kansas. And then the unity minister. The unity minister, she's just sitting back in a rocking chair. And she's rocking and fanning herself as she mutters, it is not hot, and I am not here. It is not hot, and I am not here. You'd appreciate that. We're in part 2 of a series called Infinite Possibilities, based on this book by Mike Dooley, Infinite Possibilities, The Art of Living Your Dreams. And, last week we talked about the power of our thoughts to create and how that really is the essential unity message, or a part of the essential unity message, is that there is a power within us. In fact, it's our theme for the year, Discover the Power Within You. And that as you attend to your thoughts, you are creating your life. And today we want to take it one step further. We want to take it from the thoughts that we think inside to the words that we speak, the words that we project upon the earth to create, upon our world around us to create. And you'll remember that last week I gave you a couple of home play assignments. And one of those was to take 5 minutes a day and spend it with your dream. Spend it with a particular goal or vision that you're wanting to manifest. And just take that 5 minutes to vision, to feel and taste and see and hear what it's going to be like when you achieve this particular goal or dream, whatever it is, whether it's to deepen a relationship, whether it's to start a new business, whatever. So 5 minutes a day. Some of you taking 5 minutes a day? Yeah, some thinking about it. Okay, some shaking your head. Didn't do it this week. That's okay. We don't do guilt here. But you can start today. You can take 5 minutes today with some particular dream that you have, and that'll work just fine. Yeah. And also, some of you went to the website, the TUT.com website, that's Mike Dooley's website, to sign up to get the thoughts from the universe. Yeah, how many of you are getting those thoughts from the universe? They're pretty good, aren't they? They're fun. They're fun. He has such a fun and clever way of speaking truth. I just love it. And then the last thing that I invited you to do was to help me create today's talk. And that is to send me your power affirmations. Your power affirmations that you use to help manifest in your life. And what an affirmation is. An affirmation is a short, inspiring statement that you speak. It makes you feel good and powerful, and it's claiming something in particular is true. So let's take a look at some of those. I want you to know that I got 3 pages worth of affirmations from you folks, 3 pages of tiny print of affirmations from you. We're not going to go over all of them today, but we're going to just say a few of them out loud, all right? Just to get you in tune with what the rest of this congregation is thinking about as power affirmations. So if we can have the first one behind me on the screens, and we're going to speak this together. I am powerful, positive, and confident. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit about affirmations. The first thing you want to do before you speak an affirmation is center into God. So we just take a moment to recenter ourselves and realize that each of us is a living, breathing channel for God. And that when we speak, we are speaking with the power of God. And the second thing you want to know about affirmation is you want to speak them as if you believe them. Okay, so that means some enthusiasm. So we're going to speak this again, knowing that we are centered in the presence of God, that with God all things are possible, and we're going to speak these affirmations knowing they are true in God's mind. Okay, you ready? Together, let's speak it again. I am powerful, positive, and confident. Yes, you are. All right, and the next one. I have absolute trust in God to work this out for the highest good. Now, I don't know what you might be facing right now, but maybe you've got a particular challenge of some kind in your life. Wouldn't this affirmation work great for you to just say, that you know that God's going to work it out for highest good. You have faith and trust and know that that is true. Yeah. All right, and the next one. All of my needs and desires are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. All your needs and desires, instantly, constantly, bountifully met. Yeah. And the next one? I am valuable beyond measure. Ooh, I like this one. This one is at the core, I think, of all of our manifestation. Everything that we want to create, all the dreams we want to have, are embedded right in this particular affirmation. I am valuable beyond measure. Do you know how valuable you are? How really precious you are? Some of you are nodding. Some of you want to nod, but you don't really believe it yet. This one is so powerful. I am valuable beyond measure. It's also a powerful phrase, and you can substitute any word for valuable that might work for you. I am brilliant beyond measure. I am beautiful beyond measure. I am wise beyond measure. It's a great affirmation, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, and the last one. These three, boom, 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 all together. I am powerful. I am prosperous. I am abundant. Let's say that one again. I am powerful. I am prosperous. I am abundant. Okay, close your eyes and let's say that one. I am powerful. I am prosperous. I am abundant. Yeah, all right. Oh, look, we got a laugh out of that one. That's good. There is such power to speaking these affirmations. One of the persons that shared their affirmation with me, it actually was the first one, said that they have an alarm on their smartphone to remind them to speak that affirmation. They speak it every night before they go to bed, and I guess whenever that alarm goes off, they speak their affirmation. This is powerful, powerful work that we are doing here. Mike Dooley says there's two kinds of spoken words. The first category is just when we're speaking in casual conversation about the weather and how busted hot it is, or not, or whatever it is that we might be speaking about. Did you know, by the way, that the average person speaks about 16,000 words a day? 16,000 words a day. And I know somebody out there is going to say, yeah, how many words do the women speak? How many words do the men speak? Okay, guess what? Guess what? There were some faulty findings reported back in 2006 that never were true. There is more recent research that says that we speak about the same number of words. Just wanted you to know, we talk about different things. I didn't hear what was said. I have selective hearing. We don't speak about different things. Women tend to speak more about relationships. Men tend to speak more about like objects and gadgets and cars. She says, yeah, it's just different. We just speak about different things, but it's about 16. Okay, yeah. So anyway, so that's one kind of talk, is just the talk, the words that come out in casual conversation. Now, the second kind of speaking is words that are intentional. We think deeply about them. We want them to create, because guess what? All of our words are creating all the time. So we want to pay attention to all of our words. And there's some that we're especially intentional about. That's an affirmation. And here's what Unity's co-founder Charles Fillmore says in his book called Prosperity. I just love the way he speaks sometimes. Sometimes I confess I don't get it, but I get this one. He says, pour your living words of faith into the omnipresent substance, and you will be prospered, though all the banks in the world close their doors. Turn the great energy of your thinking toward plenty ideas, and you will have plenty, regardless of what men about you are saying or doing. In other words, it does not matter what it looks like in the outer. You speak your words of truth, and they begin to vibrate and draw to them experiences, people, resources, divine ideas that are a match for those words and the energy of them. So, Let's talk about affirmations and how you create them. The first thing to know about affirmations is that they are powerful, empowering statements of truth. They are empowering statements of truth, and they are brief. You know, Stretton Smith used to say that an affirmation should be 12 words or less. Well, I mean, there's no particular magic to it, but what I know is that 12 words is about what we can easily remember. So if you want to be able to remember your affirmation, to speak it on a dime like that, make it short and brief, you know? And it's a statement that is empowering to you. And when you speak your affirmations, you want to speak them with feeling. You do want to pause before you speak them, so you're not just speaking them mindlessly, but you're really allowing a beautiful videotape of a vision to form in your mind's eye, and you speak them from your heart with powerful faith and feeling. So they take on even greater power. Now, we speak an affirmation in the present tense, even if what we are seeking isn't necessarily showing up in the moment, in the outer. So let's say, you know, a moment ago, we spoke that affirmation about I am prosperous. Well, it's possible that when you spoke that word, you were thinking about prosperity in a financial sense, but you happen to know that your bank account doesn't have what you consider to be a prosperous amount of money in it at the moment. But you speak, I am prosperous anyway, because it is true in God's mind. Now, you're not trying to change God's mind. You're trying to change your own consciousness. So you're aligning with that, I am prosperous, right? Or let's say that in this particular moment, maybe you have an ache or a pain somewhere. Maybe your elbow is giving you fits today. And that's a quote, a fact. But it's not the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are is that you are a whole, vibrantly energetic person. And so your affirmation is, I am whole, healthy, and vibrantly energetic. Now, I know you're saying, but Patricia, my elbow hurts. I'm not really whole, vibrantly energetic right now. But you speak it knowing that it is true in God's mind, and your body will catch up to that vibration. Some people get stuck on that particular point. But the power of an affirmation is speaking it in present tense and claiming it as true for you now. And there's all manners of ways that you can create affirmations. The best ones are the ones that you choose for yourself or that you write for yourself. So when you leave today, we have, I think we still have some of these left, these handouts that have the affirmations on them that all of you sent in. You gave them to me on Facebook and you emailed them to me, and gosh, I got them all manner of places. And I appreciated that. So these are available for you, but we've also placed them on the web because to be good stewards, we didn't want to make printed copies for everyone. So they'll be on our website. You just go to our main page, check out the Sunday Services page, and on our Sunday Services page, there's a whole list on the left-hand side of resources. And you just click on the one that says Power Affirmations. We're also going to send out the link to you in our email this week. If for some reason you don't get our email, you can sign up for that online as well. So we'd like to put everything we can on our website so it's as resourceful for you as it can be. So Charles Fillmore had this to say. You know, when he spoke about affirmations, he often talked about how they altered the cells of our bodies. He said in one statement that these powerful statements of truth alter the watery nature of our cells. I thought that was really beautiful. And this in particular is from Keep a True Lent. He said, as day by day I repeat and courageously live affirmations of truth. Courageously live affirmations of truth. I come to know that I am opening a channel of intelligent communication with the silent forces at the depths of being. Thoughts and words, therefore, flow forth, and I realize an entirely new source of power developing in me. When we choose our thoughts, when we choose our words, our lives change. Now, some of you may be out there saying, well, I've used affirmations before, Patricia, and I don't know, it didn't seem to quite work for me. Well, let me tell you what can get in the way of an affirmation. There's a couple of things. The first thing that can get in the way of an affirmation is speaking an affirmation all by itself without a willingness to do the work. You see, we got to combine our affirmations or affirmative prayer is another way to refer to that. It is a prayer, and we got to be willing to put feet to our prayers. I'm reminded of the person who prayed and prayed every day to win the lottery, prayed hard and fervently to win the lottery, and to no avail, And finally, one night was having a real come to Jesus talk with God, and said, God, I've been praying, I've been doing these affirmations that Patricia taught me, and I'm not winning the lottery. To which God replied, it might help if you bought a ticket, right? We got to partner with our action. We got to be willing to take action. Because otherwise, it's just magical thinking. I mean, it's just magical thinking to think, well, I'm going to say this and make it so. Well, now there is some truth to that in that as we speak a thing with conviction, we alter the very vibration of our own bodies and the very vibration of the energy field around us. And we do begin to manifest change. But part of the change comes when we're willing to take action. So that's the first thing that might be getting in the way of your affirmations is not taking action. The second thing we alluded to some last week, and that is the beliefs that you hold which are in contradiction to the affirmations. Now let me give you an example. Imagine with me, this is not a very pleasant imagining, but it's just for the example. Imagine with me there's a great big trash can. It's right here in the center of the sanctuary, and it's been there for weeks. And it's filled with old rotten food, and it stinks. There's all kinds of trash in there. There's so much stinky stuff in there that things have begun to spawn new life, right? Have you ever had trash like, anyway, so you know what it smells like, right? Now imagine if I walk right up to that trash can and I just spritz a little perfume on it. How much good is that going to do? Not much, right? That's what it's, you see, if you think about it for a moment, we all have beliefs that we have carried around in us for years. Negative beliefs that are getting in the way of us achieving our dreams. And the thing about these beliefs is they're kind of like the trash because you've carried them around so long that they've spawned other beliefs. And they smell pretty bad. But we're used to them. We wear them, like a mantle. We're accustomed to them. We don't even smell it anymore. Have you ever realized that can happen? You can be amongst a smell so long you don't even notice it. Well, toxic beliefs can be that way. And so as you set forward your positive affirmations that you're seeking, you want to ask yourself, what's in the way? What beliefs in me are in the way? What beliefs can I excavate out? So you empty the trash can, You begin one at a time to just pull out the beliefs that no longer serve you and maybe never did. So let's see. Give me an example, anybody, of a particular dream you have that you can say succinctly, a particular dream or vision, something you're praying for. Starting a new business. Okay, great. I couldn't see who said that, so it doesn't matter. There we go. Wonderful. Starting a new business. So we have somebody here who's wanting to start a new business. Now, what could possibly be in the way? What belief could possibly be in the way of that?
No capital.
No capital. Yep. What else? Failure. Oh, yeah, past failure. Yeah. No experience. Not worthy. All those things could be in the way. And so you ask yourself, so what's in the way of my starting my new business? Well, I failed at everything else I tried. I'm going to fail at this too. Or I could never get enough capital to start this business. Or, frankly, I'm just no good. I don't know what the beliefs might be, but I'll bet that there are some, potentially. And so you pull those out. You want to pull those out of the trash can and release them and let them go. And this is where Unity has a great tool to help you do this. It's called a denial. Now, it's not a denial in the psychological sense that says, oh, I'm in denial, like I'm not willing to see this. Instead, a denial is a tool that is specifically there to help you pull out of the subconscious the things that don't serve you, the beliefs that don't serve you, and let them go. So, perhaps her affirmation is, my business is wildly successful and transforming lives. Maybe that's her affirmation, but there's a belief underneath it that says, I'll never get enough capital, and I've always been a failure. So you create a statement to let go of those beliefs, and that statement's your denial, and it says, I now release Any belief that I'm a failure or that I cannot amass enough capital and my business is wildly successful and transforms lives now. You see how they work together? The denial pulls out, excavates anything, any belief that is in the way of your dream or your vision. And you speak that first, and then you follow up with your affirmation. Sometimes in unity, we forget about the denial. And it's like spritzing perfume on something that smells really bad. But when we use those denial statements, and they begin with things like I release, or I let go, or I surrender, you release them, you let them go, you create a vacuum, the universe abhors a vacuum and wants to fill it, so you fill it with intentionally positive statements of truth, your affirmations. That's how they work together. Yeah. And that's how you empty that trash can out. And then begin manifesting in your life. So it's possible that what hasn't manifested in your life has been because you either A, weren't willing to take action, or B, weren't able to notice all those negative beliefs standing in your way. You got to get rid of those before you can really claim the affirmations that you seek. You know, you hang around the unity long enough and you're going to realize that we are one long sequence of affirmations. I mean, our prayer for protection, that's a whole series of affirmations. This wonderful Daily Word magazine, how many of you get the Daily Word magazine that comes out? Yeah, and you know it's available on your cell phone now. There's a beautiful, wonderful cell phone app you can get it on. If you don't get it, you can pick one up in the bookstore. If you're here for your first time today, we'll be giving you one as a gift, by the way. But that's just an aside. Anyway, every day in this wonderful daily publication, there's an affirmation. So you can flip through for the topic of your choice. If it's health or healing, there'll be an affirmation in every issue on health and healing. There's one on prosperity. There's one on anything you can think of, there's an affirmation in there. Find one that you like, tweak it to where it suits you, and then you memorize it. The affirmation for today is, I am in the right place at the right time. Would you say that with me? I am in the right place at the right time. Yeah, absolutely. Another way that you can learn to create affirmative prayer for yourself is to call in to Reverend Paulette's weekly show that she has on unity.fm. It's called Touching the Stillness. And what time is it on Tuesday? 11 o'clock Central on Tuesday. You can call in. She will pray for you online, right there. Or you can write her and she will pray for you, and then you can catch it later as a podcast. She'll be happy to help you with affirmations and affirmative prayer. In our daily word for this particular, this issue, the July and August issue, there is a story I'd like to share with you. It was written by Millie Webb, who is one of our song leaders. You know, she grew up in this church. And back when she was 16, back in 1998, she was an exchange student down in Australia, having a bold, adventuresome experience. And there she sat in the living room of her exchange family when suddenly, out of nowhere, unprovoked, their family dog attacked her. And it was serious. And she writes, the attack was severe, and my mind immediately went into emergency mode. But what was it that ran through my mind? Was it screaming, crying, flailing about? No, it wasn't. What it was surprised even me. It was the light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. Do you hear how that prayer is a series of affirmations? She goes on to say that I repeated it silently to myself as others scrambled about me. I repeated it as I rode in the back seat to the nearest open clinic. I repeated it as I was laid on a stretcher and assessed by a nurse. I repeated it as we got back into the car and drove another 20 minutes to Melbourne's Children's Hospital, where I proceeded to have emergency reconstructive surgery. As I repeated the prayer, an all-encompassing strength and unwavering trust resonated within me. The deepest faith I've ever known overcame my body. And in that moment, I knew that as God was working in and through me, I had the power to come through this. My prayer did more than just hold me together. It transformed me from a scared child to a safe and divinely protected child of God. She says, they say in an emergency, a person has one of two reactions, either fight or flight. My reaction was neither. It was prayer. So I'm inviting you to think about the circumstances of your life today. Where could you cease fighting or fleeing and offer prayer? Speak words of truth that vibrate in your consciousness and in the world. Think about the children of this ministry who are growing up with these words, who are growing up with these tools to use. And you have them too, to make a difference in your life. So I'd like us to close today with our prayer for protection. We're going to speak it in a way that's different than we usually do. We're going to speak it so mindfully and so slowly and intentionally that we hear every single word. You might think about a circumstance in your life right now, a place where you'd like to feel and know God more deeply, where you'd like to express God more profoundly. And join me as we speak the first line of the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. The light of God surrounds me. The light of God that is so brilliant that it gives me clarity and guidance in every moment. The light of God that shines from within me to greet the light that is around me. I will never be in darkness anymore, for the light of God surrounds me. And this is the truth. The light of God surrounds me. And now the next line. The love of God enfolds me. The infinite love of God. A love in which you were created. A love in which you were sent forth into this world. A love that has been in you always. And it's around you. It surrounds you as a soft blanket right now, this love of God, healing your relationships, moving as a healing balm, letting go of forgivenesses, letting you know how truly precious you are. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God, now speak with me now, the power of God protects me. This infinite power of God, the same power that created this universe, it's enfolding you in this very moment. The same power dwells within you. It's called the Christ. It is your divine nature. This power of God that is always there for you, no matter what challenge you face. The power of God, it protects you. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. And now, the presence of God watches over me. The presence of God watching over, protecting me. The presence of God within me always, because wherever I am, God is. God is in me. In this moment, right here, right now, the presence of the divine indwells my body, mind, and spirit. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. And now, wherever I am, God is, and all is well. All is well in this moment because God is here. God has never been anyplace else but here right now. Wherever I am, whatever I face, whatever I am challenged by, God is here and all is well. And all is well. And all is well. Would you say that with me? And all is well. And so it is. Amen.